In every life, a little rain must fall, or so they say. Especially the case when you're looking at a bunch of KOs of Beast Wars Transformers. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Back in episode 318, I took a look at a version of Lio Jr., which actually ended up being pretty fantastic. In fact, I scored it rather high. Then I took a look at, pretty recently, a KO of Airazor. She's alright. She's pretty good. Not quite as good as Lio Jr. But then we come to the one lone Predacon in the line of 8. And this thing is so terrible that it makes me want to use a lot of bad language most of the time. But since I pride myself on being at least somewhat family friendly, every time that I want to say a colorful word, I'm going to replace it with something, and you can fill in the blanks however you see fit. So, with that being said, let's do the GotBot true review of the KO Transformers Beast Wars 2 Guiledart. Man, this thing is a bleeping pickle. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. Stick around, we're going to check this thing out and all of its trash in just a few seconds. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share, check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, and me everywhere. Have a look on the channel, see what catches your interest. Check out Season 1 of Universal Collision, my stop motion series. Working on Season 2 now, and some other projects are in the pike. Now, I'm not starting this one out in robot mode because I transformed it once to get it here, and I'm pretty certain that in trying to transform this thing back, it's gonna break because I had a ball joint that ratcheted. Yes, a ball joint that ratcheted on a KO. Think about that for a second, and after you say yikes, we'll go on. You done yet? Yeah, okay, so going on. In Dino mode, this is respectable. The legs are not out as far as they should be. They should come out more, largely because there's a hip section that I think splits on the official. It does not do that here. It is one piece. The coloring is certainly kind of off. The orange should be more of a yellow, and the silver should be more of a red. But that being said, the texturing is pretty decent, and where the paint is applied is done surprisingly well. So, you know, the color is sort of off, but the paint is applied respectably well in both modes. I'm going to give that, even though, like I said, the coloring is off, I'm going to give that about a 6.5. It is what it is, you know. Articulation, well, in robot mode, it is lacking compared to the official mold. And it's the first time that I can say in this line that it's really lacking. There's 8 in the line. I've covered this before. I have Airazor, Lio Jr. already done, reviewed up, all that good stuff. There is a downsized version of the Ultra Class Megatron that I looked at in episode 288. A lot of people know that mold by now. Compromises are done with that. Like the tail doesn't spring out on the KO. It is colored red, so it's actually more indicative of the Maximal T-Rex. We have a wolf version that's supposed to be K9 if you're into the character. I'm not, so I'm not planning on getting that. There's one that I thought was the Predacon Saberback, but because of the coloring, I think it's more the Maximal Striker. That's kind of a Stegosaurus type of thing. And you have Long Rack. A lot of people know Long Rack, the giraffe. And I think the other one, and I don't think I'm missing any now, is Mac Kick, the horse. Except the head arm is just one piece. And then we have this thing. So the paint, I'm saying about a 6, 6.5. Let's say a 6, because the coloring isn't right. It's just that it's applied decently. This is lacking a lot that the original mold has. For example, before I even get into articulation, the tail is supposed to be removable to become a weapon. It's not here, it's all one molded piece. In the front legs, these are hollow. They're supposed to be little flip out pieces in there that I think are missiles or blasters or something. Because I gotta be honest, I think the official mold of this is junk as well. When it was redone as the recolored as the Age of Extinction Slug, I think it was junk then as well, and that came in some 2-pack that we never did get around here. And you know what? Now that I got this hunk of garbage in my hands, I really don't feel bad about it at all. Okay, so articulation here, the head does nothing really, it jiggles a little bit, it's tabbed in there, but it doesn't really do anything. The front legs can go forward and backward, you know, like all the way to here, all the way up there. It can go a little bit, you know, out to the side. I guess that's okay, but this ball joint is pretty loose. It's not nearly as good as the ball joints on the other two that I got. The back legs don't really do anything. There's a pin here for like a knee, but it doesn't really do much of anything. It can go in and out ever so slightly. Nothing great in this mode, and we'll see there's nothing great in the robot mode either. I'm going to hold off on the score for the articulation till we get the robot mode. Let's get into the terrible transformation for this guy. There were some interesting ideas, but I don't think that this mold translated well at all. Okay, so where to begin with this monstrosity of a thing? I guess, where do we begin with this? I guess the best place to begin is to take off the head. Now, that being said, I spoke of a ball joint that ratcheted. It is this shoulder here, unfortunately. So as soon, and the peg to peg the head on is quite tight. So I got this sneaky suspicion that when I take the head off, I'm going to tear the entire arm off. I bet I can just feel it. Because that has to be stressed to its absolute max, being such cheap quality, again, junk. So we unpeg the head, and sure enough, off it just came. There's a ball joint in here. We'll talk about this as we get through it. So right now you would have the head really just kind of untabbed and hanging out. So pretend the head's there, because I'm not spending another $4 on this trash. The robot head is in here. This is where the shoulder broke off from. You know, I guess I was bound to have one that was going to be pure, unadulterated garbage. Next, we untab these panels that are on the side here, and we wiggle out, if I can do it again without breaking it up. There you go. Get that out and got that out. And we wiggle out a little tab up here that goes into the tail. Just like that. We take the front legs and we angle them up. Just like that. We undo the belly. There's a little tab and a hole there. We undo the belly and open it up. And now you got all this sort of just exploded out. And don't forget, you would, by rights, have a head coming down right here. This is where the shoulder is. So you would have a head right. Actually, here's the peg that it broke off of. You would have a head right there. Man, this is junk. We come to the back legs and we flip out the feet and the shins. We flip out the feet and the shins. Just like that. And, oh, I hate when I say that. And we angle these pieces of the body down so that we can swivel the upper chest, and everything just gets in the way here of itself. There you go. Swivel the upper chest. Bring down his robot arm. And if you didn't see that well, it's because this is junk. Bring up there's a gray hinge in here that brings up the tail. You should be able to remove the tail now to make it a weapon, but instead here, we get the joy of a lovely, enormous backpack. Straighten out the dinosaur legs. Those are on decent ball joints, I guess. And have that there. Have that there. And bring this like that. Now I'm just straightening junk up. And in the end, this is basically what you have for like Guiledart, I think that's his name, except over on this peg here that broke off, we should have, and I guess I'll turn it so that he actually has an elbow. We should have, you know, another shoulder here like this. This shoulder should be able to swivel forward and back. It can't go all the way around because of this body kibble here, but it should be able to swivel forward and back. It should be able to swing out. This whole Triceratops head is his hand and arm. There is an elbow here, and it can swivel around. Okay. But everything is in the way of each other. The head can go left and right. This arm over here can swing out. It can't really swing back because all of the body and forelegs of the dinosaur are in the way and hitting off of stuff. The arm can by rights come forward. There's supposed to be an elbow joint in here. This one doesn't have it. It's just one piece and no elbow on that arm. So yeah, that arm can swing out. It can swing forward, I guess. We don't have any tail weapon to go there in his hand. We don't have any, you know, little pieces that flip up from these dinosaur feet. He does have a torso swivel, but that's locked in right now because the backpack tail is locked in. The legs can come forward that far. They can go back to about there before they start hitting kibbly junk. You would think the knee is here, but it's not. The knee is actually down here, more like the ankle. There is a toe tilt. I guess that's good. The legs could, by rights, go out to the side if you get these body pieces out of the way to a fairly respectable set of splits. No waist articulation. This whole pelvis section here should be able to split in two to give the dinosaur legs kind of greater, the rear dinosaur legs kind of greater distance. Okay, the transformation is a pain with very thin plastic. I'm giving that like a 2. It's doable, but barely. You feel like you're gonna break something off. you feel like you're gonna break something off. Who are we kidding? You're gonna break something off. The articulation has panels banging into each other, has ball joints that ratchet, has an arm that is completely and utterly lacking an elbow. I'm giving the articulation, again, about a 2. This is just a frustrating Predacon. No, Magmatron would not want to lead this. Beast Wars Galvatron would not want to lead this, and certainly Beast Wars Megs would not want to lead this guy. They would say, hey, you're loyal, sure, and you believe in climbing the ranks in the right way, but you are never going to climb the ranks because you are awful. Who knew I would get this far without feeling the need to use a bunch of swear words? Overall score for this, it broke. It's a 0. Do not get this one from the line. It is a waste of your $4, just like it was a waste of my $4. But it was only $4, so at the end of the day, I really don't care. If you can score the Lio Jr., if you can score the Air Razor as stand-ins, if you don't have the official Air Razor, or if you don't see her, or until you get her, those two, pretty worth the pickup. This guy, not so much. As for the other ones in the line, I'm not that much into Beast Wars 2 or Beast Wars Neo to really be drawn to them. Maybe you are, and maybe they are good. Because right now, I've handled 3 of those figures, and you know what? 2 of them have been pretty good for what they are. 2 out of 3, that ain't bad. Anyway, let me know what you think of this hunk of junk. Let me know what you think of the official version of this, because I always thought that that looked like an atrocious mess also. As always, thanks for giving me a bit of your valuable time, and I very much look forward to the next time that you and I have a visit right here inside the videos.